What's up, guys? We are here for an episode of Get a Grip with Kay, and this is a very fun episode because this is episode 2 of being live at Jiu Jitsu Con. And what we've been doing is bringing in special guests that are here at Jiu Jitsu Con to ask their questions and filming it for you here and then putting it all together for a podcast. So, first up, can you please introduce yourself to the audience and let us know where you're from and how long you've been training?
My name is Jeffrey Brooks, and I train at Checkmat Marietta. I've been training for 4 years.
4 years. Going on 5. All right. And Jeffrey, what's your question?
I wanted to ask, what's the hardest part of your training?
Hardest part of my training? Oh my gosh. Probably when I have to train with my fiance because I don't like getting beat up. No, okay. The hardest part of my training, I would say, well, I used to only train hard all day, every day. That's all I did was just everyday pojada, very insane. Mm-hmm. But now my training's different. I do a lot more specific training and focus on skill building. And I only do a lot of hard sparring 1 to 2 times a week because I do mostly specific skill building the other days. But I would say the hardest part of my training is, I think, just the mental work around when you have people, I know I joked about my fiance. I don't usually train that hard with him because we more have fun when we train. But when I have those hard training partners that I know it could go either way, I don't know who's going to win. It depends if it's going to be their day or my day. And I have a 10, 15 minute round coming up with them. That's probably the most challenging because it's the kind of when you go to compete, it's the anticipation of the unknown of what's going to happen, who's going to win today. We know we're going to put it all on the mats, right? Mm-hmm. What about you? What's the hardest part of your training?
Just Shark Tanks.
Say it again?
Shark Tanks.
Shark Tanks.
Every day, Shark Tanks.
Every day Shark Tanks? That's what you're doing? Man.
A lot. 2 times a day. But who's the hardest person that you've ever fought? Who was your hardest match and why?
Competition? Man, my hardest match in competition. I think one of the toughest girls I've ever fought is Nacheli de Jesus. And the reason why is I feel she has such a difficult game to deal with because she has such maturity on the mat that kind of no matter where you go, she has an answer for it. But another one, of course, is Gabi Pesanya. Gabi Pesanya we fought many times. Not in the last couple of years because I was mostly doing no-gi in the last couple of years. So we fought a lot in the colored belts also, all the way to black belt. And I had some 0-0 matches with her, lost by advantage, really, really tough, close, intense matches. So she's definitely up there too, yeah.
What's your favorite skill that you like to do in tournament?
Oh, man.
Knee cuts, back takes.
I love some knee cuts. I really love, so have you ever seen a video of me doing the Kendall-cana? Do you know what that is? I'm going to have to show it to you. So it's an arm triangle, right? A regular arm triangle. And when the person reaches behind the head this way, instead of trying to keep squeezing them, you grab their wrist and you pull the arm out. And then when they straighten the arm, it goes into a straight armbar kind of Americana. And when I did it at Nogi World, someone asked me what it was called, and I was like, oh, it's the Kendall-cana. And I kind of made a joke, but then it became real, and then it became a thing people were doing. So that's my favorite skill. What about you?
I like to do reverse triangles, bow and arrows, and ninja choke.
Oh,
I do ninja choke a lot in tournament.
That's awesome. So you're a back guy. You like being on the back a lot?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. It was great to have you. Alrighty, so we have our next guest. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Marco Suarez.
And how long have you been training?
I've been training for 11 years and a half, almost 12 years.
Wow, that's amazing. And little secret for the podcast is I've known Marco since, how old are you? 4?
Since 6.
6 years old? Oh my gosh, crazy. Started training with us a long time ago. Such an amazing athlete, and we're so proud of you. You've done such amazing stuff over the years, and your progress off the mats is also very impressive. You're coming into a very amazing young man. So what is your question, Marco?
I was going to say, is the Kendall-cana a defense of the arm triangle counter?
It is. So when someone's in the arm triangle, do you know what the most common defense is?
Yeah, when they reach back. I've been using that a lot too.
Yep, it's called answer the phone. So when someone answers the phone, say my arm is like right here, right? You can reach up and grab the wrist and pull it out. When you pull it out, it will attack the shoulder. But sometimes what happens is people straighten their arm. So then this is really what the Kendall-cana is, when they straighten the arm and you start to pull the arm and you push in with your head and it breaks the elbow. And that's the sneaky defense to the defense of the arm triangle.
I've been using that a lot.
You have been? It's been working for you?
It has.
Very good, very good.
Even from close guard.
Even from close? Oh, that's smart. So you do it from the bottom close guard when you lock up the arm and the head together. That's smart. I never even thought about using it like that. Now you're giving me some good ideas.
And I made my own submission called the Marco Plata.
The Marco Plata?
It's kind of like the Go-Go Plata. The same idea, but you're using it as an arm bar.
Oh.
I also made a Marco lock, like my own leg lock.
The Marco lock. You're going to have to show it to me. Is it different than a heel hook?
It's just
Or it's
like
not a toe hold?
hook.
It's like a heel hook?
It's when they defend the Mikey lock, you know, the Mikey lock.
I do, yeah. And then what do you do?
Just switch the arm.
Oh, okay, the other side of the arm.
You like overhook it and you turn.
Very cool. Oh, you're going to have to do it to me so I can feel it later on, okay? Alrighty, we are here with our very next guest. And would you please introduce yourself, sweetie?
Hi, my name is Itzel, and
How long
I'm
have you been training?
around 2 years now at Gracie Baja.
Awesome. And your journey has been very, very impressive. What belt are you now?
I am a solid gray belt.
Solid gray, getting fancy up there. So Itzel, what's your question?
I wanted to ask you, what's been the most challenging part of your jiu-jitsu journey?
Ooh, challenging part of my jiu-jitsu journey. It's a great question. So I think in Jiu Jitsu Accelerator in my company, we talk a lot about being your own best coach. And because I work with people all over the world in different scenarios. And it's very similar to my own journey of I've been with one team my whole career, but I've had different phases of enjoying jiu-jitsu or having different people I was training with, right? And through that time, I've learned that the number one most important thing, no matter where I'm at in my jiu-jitsu journey, is being my own best coach and really going inside and figuring out what's best for me, what do I need to be working on, how hard do I need to be training, how many competitions do I want to do, because I think a lot of times the struggle came from thinking that someone outside was going to tell me how to do it better. And it's not that we can't have great coaches and we can't have our parents helping us and good teammates, but at the end of the day, no one can decide better for you than you. So I think that's probably a struggle that I've had through different stages of learning to do that, but it's also the best thing that ever happened. It's good that I had that struggle because now I'm able to really have good discernment and leadership within myself. So now it's no matter where I'm training, no matter what's going on, no matter if I'm injured, because injuries are also a hard part of my story too. Having injuries was very difficult. Or losing big tournaments that I thought I was going to win. Man, it was really hard. In ADCC 2024, losing in the semifinals, a match that I felt like I froze and just didn't perform my best because I really thought I was going to win. That was another big challenge. But again, it came back to it wasn't for someone else to tell me oh, it's okay, you did fine, you'll get ready for the next one. All that's nice, but I had to come from me. I had to feel okay with myself. I had to decide what I was going to do next. And so I think becoming my own best coach and having self-leadership, which is hard to do. It's a challenge, but it's the best gift because then no matter what happens on the outside, you can take care of you. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes. Have you ever been stuck on bottom mount and how'd you get out?
Stuck on bottom mount? Yes. Oh my God, girl. A lot. You said in a tournament though?
How'd you get out?
Oh, how'd I get out? Oh my God. So getting stuck on bottom mount, I think especially in the younger ages, we start to rely on bridging and rolling, right? But bridging and rolling with, bigger, stronger, more advanced people isn't going to work most of the time. So I keep it very simple and I just stick to a good old-fashioned hip escape. Just turning on my side, pushing the knee down, getting to half guard, turning to the other side, doing the same thing, and using really strong frames. One thing that can really help with that is once we get into half guard, we get one leg down. When I turn to the other side, instead of focusing too much on the knee, you frame on the arm. So then when they're trying to hug your head, you have two arms on the bicep and the wrist. And then that can help you extend your back and create space for your knee to come through instead of staying like crunched in a ball and not able to get your knee up because they're smashing you with their chest. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay, so for this next question, this is not a guest that you've never seen before. This is Saul, Professor Saul. However, he has a question that came in via text through someone at Jiu Jitsu Con. So he's going to ask the question for them, and then we'll answer here on the podcast.
I actually have 2 questions. So
two from the same person?
No, from 2 different people.
All right, let's
So we'll
party.
do it,
Let's
all right?
get it.
So the first one is from Natalia, who asks, having witnessed the evolution of jiu-jitsu through your mom's experience and your own journey coming up in the sport, what do you think have been the biggest factors driving the growth and popularity of women in what has traditionally been a male-dominated space?
Ooh.
And looking ahead, what do you see as the key to continuing that growth and helping jiu-jitsu become more mainstream?
Oh my gosh,
That's a
what
big
a
question.
good question. Yeah, what a good question. Thanks, Natalia. So, okay, so there's a lot of parts to this. First of all, even though our environment is male dominated, I actually believe that jiu-jitsu, unlike maybe other combat sports that are like pure violence, right? Like, I'm not saying like a lot of women like boxing, right? But there's a lot of women who are not interested in that who do jiu-jitsu. So then I have to ask the question, like, what makes jiu-jitsu special? I think that one of the things that attracts women to jiu-jitsu is that it is inherently fun. Like, it's a game and it's fun and you get to play. Now, it doesn't mean that you can have an environment that's not fun to learn jiu-jitsu in, because some environments are like just Fight Club, right? And they're not so crazy, or they're way too crazy, and it's not a good fit. Although some women like that too. But anyway, for me, I'll speak for myself. I think like the vast majority of women, they like to come to jiu-jitsu because they like to have fun, and you can access that inner fight, that inner ferocity that we have in a way that you're not really able to do off the mats, like in day-to-day life, right? Like we don't really, I mean, maybe some people, but we don't really get to act that out a lot of the time, that passion, that fierceness. So as far as the contributions and what I see as the key to how it's developed and how it continues to develop, and I will say about my mom that the main reason she started training jiu-jitsu is because I started first, and then she was like, man, if I don't do this, my daughter's going to be the only one. Like, there's no girls. So she actually, and I won't be able to understand the experience, so she actually joined to be with me and to have me have a woman around to look up to and to understand what was going on in the space. And what we've seen since then is, one, like, as funny as it sounds, cleanliness. Like, we have cleaner gyms. We have gyms with, like, bathrooms that are usable. We have gyms with class structures that are not just chaos, and it's not sparring for 2 hours after a 30-minute like sprinting warm-up, right? And I think we also have a lot more conversation and understanding about safety and respect. And I actually feel that what's contributed to that, which I know because you're a business owner, you understand. Well, not Natalia, I'm not sure, but I know for Saul, he's a business owner, he understands. That the business of jiu-jitsu, I think, has really contributed to more women and kids being involved, because in order to have a successful business of women and children, not that you don't need this for men, but maybe not as much, you need structure. You need an environment where kids are going to come in and have a predictable experience, male or female, and the moms are seeing that and they're liking that. You need a space where women feel comfortable. Like, in our classes, the structure is the same every class, so that when you come to class, you know what's going to happen. You know what's expected of you. It's not a free-for-all. It's not a big shocking experience. And so it's like, I think jiu-jitsu business has been a huge factor in elevating the space for opening women's jiu-jitsu up. As far as continued, I know a lot of people look at competitive jiu-jitsu and they say like, oh, more cash prizes, or oh this, or oh that. And I don't think that that's irrelevant, but I actually think it's the smallest part of the equation. Like, it's cool. Like, I compete, right? It's cool. We're here at Jiu Jitsu Con. We have this booth. We have a place, like, the women and the girls, like, are coming. They're like, oh, my God, I've never seen anything like this. Like, that's awesome. But at the same time, even in that same wavelength, what we're doing here at the booth is not jiu-jitsu competition, it is business. Jiu-Jitsu Accelerator is my business. So I think jiu-jitsu business is actually what is going to continue elevating women, because it allows for women to have financial success in the jiu-jitsu world, and it creates a demand for high-level products that women and children want to be involved with, because, you know, guys will go to Fight Club no matter what. But our priorities and our standards may be different, and we require more. And I think that I know, the free marketplace of capitalism really is like providing like, okay, the best product's gonna win, and that's like in the family, the women oftentimes are the one who are like deciding what the kid's gonna go to. They're the ones who are like doing a lot of the financial decisions in that way. So, I think we're gonna have to up our product if we want to keep more women and children involved. Do you have any different thoughts?
No, no.
As a business owner, and as someone who's watched like a lot of progression too.
No, I think that I think for me personally, like it's been just absolutely amazing to watch the sport. I've been doing it for 13 years, and even in that time, I've seen it grow so much. I mean, the fact that there's even this booth here right now, is pretty insane.
Yeah.
And you probably couldn't have done that like to even 10 years ago, right? So obviously, women's jiu-jitsu is growing in a really fast rate right now, and it's actually really exciting to see. And I think that you hit the nail on the head with pretty much everything in terms of like, especially like moms coming into it, right? The schools being a lot cleaner, right? Like you definitely have that like women's touch for the schools that I think just elevates the experience of jiu-jitsu, and makes it a little bit more professional. So I think it's really good.
Yeah,
cool.
It's good. Awesome.
That was an awesome answer. So I have one last question from Jeffrey.
All righty,
and
let's
Jeffrey
do it.
asked, would you hope to compete in the UFC BJJ tournament in the future?
Oh, man. What were you going to say?
I think he means like the UFC.
The UFC Jiu-Jitsu, yeah. Man, I would love to. I think you already know part of the answer, though, is just like it depends on the weight class, because a lot of times, like, people have been asking me all weekend, like, why are you not in CJI? Why are you not doing that? And I'm like, there's a cap on the weight, like, and also like that's the same reason why the 110-pound girls are not doing it, or you haven't seen that come up yet in UFCBJJ. So I would absolutely love to. I think the pit is really fun. I love the idea that there are lots of organizations now that are growing professional programs that you can really like have. Well, it kind of goes back to like the best schools win, and in jiu-jitsu business, it is like things are becoming more professional. So the best organizations that bring the most value to the fans, first and foremost, the athletes as well, but mostly the fans. And because athletes, we go and compete wherever the most eyeballs are, because that's also who can pay us the most. So because there's more eyeballs on it and people are paying more, there becomes more prestige because the highest level people want to be involved. So I think like I would love to compete in as many organizations as possible, because I'm interested in bringing eyeballs to any organization that is trying to grow jiu-jitsu. And I think it's I always learn a lot, like no matter who I compete with. Like I love all the organizations I fought with. I was just thinking about like Polaris has been doing amazing. I fought on Grapple Fest back in the day. Like who's number one, of course, Flow Grappling, IBJJF. I'd have to rack my brain to think. I even fought on, what was that one in the...
Well, you've done like every single rule set. I was just talking to someone about the Submission Underground one that you did.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Mm-hmm.
Like in the cage.
And Kelsonen was doing the commentary. That was so funny. Yeah, so I think like I learn a lot from the organizations, not just about the jiu-jitsu, but about how they run things. Like what does their business model look like? How do they treat the athletes? What is the pay structure like? How are the other athletes feeling? So I love to compete and fight the best people, but I also think that broadening your knowledge by experiencing other organizations is really important. I've always kind of considered myself like a yes person in the jiu-jitsu world. Like that's how I got into commentating, right? Like I just kind of say yes to things.
You're just down, right?
I'm just always down. Like why not try a bunch of stuff and see what you like, and you never know who you're going to meet or what it's going to end up being like. And that's how so many of the best things in my life have come together. Jiu-Jitsu Accelerator is kind of like that too. And like for those of you guys who don't know, Saul was helped me when Jiu-Jitsu Accelerator originally got started back in 2021. That was an experiment in itself. It was like, I think people might like to try this. I literally talked on my Instagram stories like, hey, who wants to learn about blah, blah, blah? And then I just made it. There was no perfection in it. It just like came to life. And so I think jiu-jitsu is like that in a way. Like a lot of times athletes wait for the perfect super fighter, the perfect organization, the perfect pay, or the perfect thing, perfect camp. And it's like, no, dude, just go fight. Like your career is going to build itself along the way, but you learn so much invaluable stuff every time you try something new. So absolutely, I would definitely do it.
Awesome. Perfect.
Okie dokie, we are here with our next guest. And would you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, I'm Mia. I've been training for 2.5 years, I think. I'm from Riverside, California.
I know our little Gracie Ball champ won gold today, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And what's your question, Miss Mia?
My question is, what's your favorite variation of arm bars?
I know Miss Armbar Queen over here. That's a
Yeah.
good question. Not me, her is what I mean. Okay, it's kind of a cheater question. It's kind of a cheater answer because I really like the armbar off of the Kendall-cana because the arm gets straight and you can finish it that way.
Yeah.
However, I also really like arm bars from S-Mount.
Yeah.
I think they're really fun, like when you're trying to gift wrap, but instead you go for the arm bar on top. I've seen you do that one before.
yeah.
What's your favorite?
Yeah, like the one you said, the gift wrap. I like to do that one, or just like any position.
Yeah, you're taking arms from everywhere. I know. What's your next question?
What do you do after competitions? Like, do you rest or like do you work out or?
You know, that's a good question. I feel like it really depends on the tournament.
Yeah.
I remember Nogi Worlds in December of 2023. We finished like weirdly early that day, and the finals might have been at like 2 o'clock. It's very weird. Never happens. And we ended up going to the gym, like me and some of my friends and my fiance. We like went to the gym and I like lifted weights because I wasn't sore. I had only had the finals that day and I was just like, let's work out. I like working out. But that's kind of rare. Like I don't normally do that. But other times you finish a tournament and you're like wrecked and you're so tired and you had all these matches and then I'm like, dude, I'm sleeping for a whole day after this.
Yeah.
But I think that's also, one way to say that is like, it's kind of like my normal life. If I'm really sore and I need to rest, I rest. If I don't and I want to go train, I go train.
Yeah.
So I try to just stay on my normal schedule and not make competition something that's like so special because it's great to go and compete. But the truth is, you're going to have so many competitions in your life.
Yeah.
And if I took like multiple days off every time I competed, then that's so many days added up after year, right? So I like to get back to my normal schedule, but I don't do it in a way I'm forcing myself. If you're like tired and sore and all of that, then enjoy, sleep, rest.
Yeah.
But I just try to get back to normal.
Oh yeah.
What about you? You compete a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think I take like a day off and
Yeah.
stuff, and then I just like go back.
Yeah.
Cause like I like to train to get better and stuff, But yeah.
Yeah. So kind of same, right? You just
Yeah.
kind of keep your schedule.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I just get lazy and all that stuff. And I just like to have a schedule. on what I'm gonna do.
You like a girl likes a structure. We love a
Exactly.
schedule.
Yes,
We,
yeah.
we love a training routine.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
One more.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a competition and it wasn't planned as you thought, and just ever wanted to quit?
Say the first part again. Have I ever been in a competition and what
And it wasn't as meant to be?
didn't go the way I wanted,
Yeah.
right? Oh, and I wanted to quit?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have to send you this video because literally I asked Professor Homalu this the other day on a Q&A.
Oh.
And he's a multiple time world champion. He's won everything in the world. I will maybe go introduce you to him later. He's really nice and he has daughters that are 9 and 11 and they train and they're really cool too. So I'll show you a video because I'll tell you what he said. He goes, oh man, every time I lost. And he's one of the best in the world to ever do it. So he's like, man, every time I lost, I'm such a sore loser and I want to quit every time and then I have to remind myself to keep coming back and training hard. So the reason I say that is because it's okay to have those emotions, when something doesn't go your way, to feel frustrated and oh man, I don't want to do this. But what he reminded me of and what I try to tell myself too is sometimes I don't feel like that personally. When I lose, I just have a fire. I'm like, man, I want to come back. Let me fight again. Let me go again. Let me do my best. I know I can win. But I have had times that were really hard where I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do this forever? Or this is so hard. And I do the same thing Harmalu does in those moments. And I really think about my why. Why am I doing this? Am I doing this to impress my teammates? Am I doing this so that my parents or my friends or someone will like me?
Yeah.
Am I doing this for social media followers? Am I doing this for the pictures, for Insta? What? No, I'm not doing it for that. Am I doing it just to have gold medals? No, I'm not doing it for that.
Yeah.
It's not that gold medals aren't great. I love gold medals.
yeah.
But why? So for me, the answer is I believe that jiu-jitsu is the best avenue for personal development that I've ever found because it's high pressure, it's violent, it's crazy, everyone's watching you. It's like a high stakes, unknown, chaotic thing, and I feel like that brings the best out of me.
Yeah.
Even when I lose, I know that it's going to pull the best out of me at some point.
Yeah.
So I think I try to remind myself of that. And then it's way less about like, did I win? Did I not? Did it go perfectly? Because I've lost so many times, and I've had so many experiences where I thought I was going to win and I didn't. It didn't go as planned, and I was so disappointed in myself, so frustrated.
Yeah.
And so I think in those moments it came back to like, well, why am I even doing this? And let me focus on that, because jiu-jitsu, and Hamalu said this too, jiu-jitsu has brought me so many things in my life that are bigger than just winning gold medals. And I'm so grateful to jiu-jitsu for that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep coming back no matter what medal or not medal I get, because jiu-jitsu gives me the life that I have in a lot of ways. So, what about you? Have you had that too happen?
Multiple times, like when things don't go my way. Sometimes I feel like, why did I do that? Or like, I just want to go back. Like, just give me one more chance.
Exactly. Give me one more chance, please.
Yeah. Like, no, I didn't mean to tap.
Yes.
Yeah.
So true.
Yes. So multiple times, but I just wanted to ask you because I just thought you could relate to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but.
Does that make sense what I said though about like focusing on the why outside of just the medal?
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
I think too, like the last thing I'll say is, it's also, I try to focus on how I fought.
Yeah.
And I know that when people say that to you after you lose, we hate hearing it, because you're like, I know, but I wanted to win. You don't understand.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? It matters to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
But when you think about it this way, you have, how old are you again?
14.
14. So you have a long jiu-jitsu career ahead of you if you so choose. And what gets you closer to being a champion and winning those medals and having your goals as being a world champion, all of those things, is how you fight today. Because if you add up enough times of fighting like a champion and acting like a champion on and off the mats, then the gold medals follow.
Yes.
Rather than people think like, oh, I'm going to win a world title and then I'm going to feel like a champion.
Yeah.
It's like, no. When you fight like a champion, you act like a champion, then that comes after. So even when you lose, you can have that question like, but did I fight like a champion? Did I give it my all? Did I prepare well? Was my mindset right? Did I do my best? And if you're doing those things, then you can still find pride in that. You're still gonna have the disappointment if you're, a competitor like me. You're still gonna have that like, oh man, what did I do? Or let me go again, or what happened? But you can have that with the pride of like, but I did do my best. I did prepare well.
Yes.
I gave it my all. And then you just take the lessons. And if you do that enough times, you're gonna get closer to where you wanna be.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, guys, we are back with our next guest here on Get a Grip at Jiu Jitsu Con. Would you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello, my name is Ivan. I've been training for 5 years.
5 years. Where do you train?
Underground Jiu-Jitsu.
Where is that? Where do you live?
It's in Las Vegas, but I don't know.
In this area, right?
Not in the area, like
outside.
away,
Outside. Okay, outside of the Las Vegas Strip area, but still in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Very cool. Far away. So you have a question for me, I heard.
Yeah.
What is your question?
How long have you been training?
So I've been training a long time. Wait, you said how many years again?
How many years?
For you.
5.
And how old are you?
10.
10. Okay, so we're almost the same. I started with training when I was 4.5. You started training when you were 5, right? And I'm 27. So let's do the math. That's like 23, I think, 23 years, something like that. A long time. Yeah. Do you have another one?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
What is your favorite move?
My favorite move. So my favorite submission, I'll tell you first, then I'll tell you the other moves, is a Kendall-cana, which is like a submission from the arm triangle to the defense of that. And then also, I really like the knee cut pass. Do you do knee cuts ever? Not that much? What passes do you like?
Cartwheel pass.
Cartwheel, my man. Cartwheel passes, all right. So I like cartwheel passes. I like knee passes. I like front headlocks. And I really like far knee taps as a takedown. Do you like takedowns?
Yeah, I like Gosotogari.
Osonogari. Have you done judo too, or you just learned it in your jiu-jitsu class?
In jiu-jitsu class.
Nice. Very cool. I did judo when I was younger, so I like learning those throws too. Awesome. Any other questions?
What was your hardest match?
Oh man, my hardest match. I've had a lot of hard matches. It's hard to pick one. Hardest match. I was telling people earlier, I've had some really hard matches with Nacheli de Jesus, Gabby Pisania has been really tough. Do you know who she is, Gabby? She is, man, one of the greatest of all time. You should look up her matches. Super good. Had some very close matches with her. She's super tough. But also, I think, like, one of the hardest matches was more mentally. I had a match for third place in ADCC in 2024, and I fought a girl named Amy Campo. She was the ADCC champion the year before. And then in 2024, we both lost in the semifinals, so we fought for third. And when I fought her for third, it was hard, not just because of the jiu-jitsu, because she's really good, but also mentally, because when I lost the semis, I was so devastated. Like, I really thought I was going to win the whole tournament. I was so confident. So when I lost the semis, I was so devastated. I was so upset with myself. I felt like I messed it all up, and I was being really hard on myself. So it was really hard to come back and, like, fight like a champion after that because I was so upset, right? So I think mentally preparing myself to come back and fight someone who's an ADCC champion so great, that was probably the toughest. But I was able to win by, 2 points or 4 points, or I don't know. I took her down a couple times, something like that, and won the match, and it was a good day. So, yeah.
I have another question.
Go for it.
Have you ever gotten the IBJJF crown?
Oh my gosh, I want that crown. I want the crown. So no, I've never fought in that tournament. They have it in the gi. Did they do a no-gi crown yet? I don't think so, just in the gi, right? So they've only done it in the gi, and I would love to do one in the gi. I maybe in the future will be fighting for it. I actually, on those events, I think commentated only and did like interviews, but hopefully next time I can fight in it. Do you want the crown someday? Is that what you're going for?
Yes, and I'm also gonna be the UFC champion.
UFC champion. Well, you heard it here first. I'm ready. In jiu-jitsu or MMA?
MMA.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I'll be looking out for your career. That's great. So we've got our next guest here with the amazing hair. If you're watching on camera, you're seeing what I'm talking about. And her mom did it. I'm going to maybe have her do me next time. Can you tell us your name and how long you've been training?
My name's Araceli. I've been training for 6 years.
Amazing. Where do you train?
I train in Maryville, Indiana.
Wow, you came a long way for Jiu Jitsu Con, girl. Oh my gosh. And how was your competition this weekend?
So I went 1-1 both days, 1-1 both days for no-gi and gi. I got a silver in no-gi. I didn't place today, sadly, but
awesome. That's a great tournament. Good stuff, though. That's really great, especially after having like you got silver yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you came back today and still won your first match.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very good. Very good. So what should we talk about? What's your question for me today?
How do you feel about like ADCC rule set versus IBJJF rule set, like your preferences on?
Oh my gosh. So the running joke lately is that I wish, or my favorite rule set is if in ADCC rules, but if I didn't have to put their back on the mat for 2. Like if I could just make them go to turtle and then that was enough for 2. But that's just because I like takedowns. Personally, I love the ADCC rule set in no-gi because obviously they don't have gi rules, because I feel that there's a lot less stalling because of the lack of advantages. However, so like in IBJJF, like I love IBJJF, but I do feel like the athletes kind of play the advantage game a lot, and it's frustrating, and it's not that exciting to watch. However, I will say that what happens in ADCC, because there's no advantages, is oftentimes like the reffing maybe doesn't feel as consistent, or there's like too many times where like they go out of bounds and it could have been a takedown, but it wasn't because they ran into humans and people. So I think there's pros and cons to all of the rule sets, but personally my favorite event to fight in probably is the ADCC rules. Yes, ADCC rules. Although I will say that it's hard to pick because IBJJF, I like that I don't have to put their back on the mat to get to the 2 points, because if I take them down and they turtle, I still get 2, right? And you still did all the work for the takedown. But that's because I'm biased with takedowns. What about you?
I like IBJJF a lot. I just feel like the lack of advantages makes it inconsistent. Like, was that a submission attempt? Was that dangerous? It's like IBJJF, it's easier to gauge, like, what is going to happen. But also, I feel like the refs are really biased towards, like, what they think. And it's like, oh, he won. Oh, wait, he didn't. Like, and it's like, oh, he's going to win that. He had that. And then he doesn't get his hand raised. I'm like,
it's hard with the refs' decisions. Yeah, it is. With the refs' decisions, it's tough because sometimes you completely believe that your teammate won, and then you're like, what just happened? But that's the thing I know a lot of people have criticism about is referees' decisions in general. Like, even having that be an option is really hard.
I like IBJJF. I like gi, which is part of my bias, but it's also like so hard. There's no overtime. It goes straight to ref decision. It's really inconsistent. It's like there's a lot of ups and downs.
There's give and take to all the rule sets, for sure. So it's interesting hearing what people like the most. I guess at some point you could go old school and say everything's submissions only again, but then you'd be on the mat for hours sometimes, so it would be so crazy to do that.
What's the longest match you've fought?
Honestly, the longest match I fought was the Flow Grappling Who's Number One Championships. We had the finals. And the finals, if I'm not mistaken, were a 30-minute match. Shoot, I think it was 30. And I think, I have to ask, my coach is not around here, but I think it was 30. And I'm pretty sure that we went for like 27 minutes. I ended up getting submitted in minute 27. I was so sad because I felt like I was really dominating the match and doing well. And then I made a mistake because I body locked past, but I kept my head on the wrong side and I got guillotined. So sad. But anyway, that was my longest match, so almost 30, which honestly I think is way too long for jiu-jitsu. I think no one wants to watch more than 15 minutes. Like I don't know, do you like long matches?
I think that 15 minutes is good, but when it goes past 15 minutes, it's hard to focus on, and it's hard for the athletes too. It's like what more can we do? You know?
I agree with that 100%.
So I was thinking while we were doing these questions today that people listening to the podcast would probably be interested in wondering what your experience was like overall this week. Your kind of key points and takeaways, the highlights of what you've seen and what you've accomplished. And also part two would be, do you think that you're going to inspire other professionals, especially women in the space, to come out and maybe promote their own businesses and brands like you did this week?
Man, those are good questions. So it's funny because with the booth, a couple people have come up to me this weekend and said like, oh my gosh, you're the only like female that has a booth. Like they're the only woman that has a booth. That's like, there's merch companies that have women that working at the booth, but it's like, I'm the only person that has a booth that's a girl. But I didn't even know about that. So that's something I thought about. And I guess like now looking back, it is like a thing, but I would have never thought about that from the beginning. But I have one of my friends, Maggie Grandotti, she came by yesterday. She has a really amazing app where she does personal training and like athletic performance. It's called Champion Fit. And I was telling her like, hey, you should have a booth. Like I started to have these conversations with women who have companies. And I think with them seeing this, it really brought like the vision to life where they're like, oh man, there's a place where we can like, not everything has to be black and white. Like not everything has to be like a merch booth or like about your jiu-jitsu team. Like if you have something innovative and fun and cool and different, like you can be a part of it here. Like you should come do it here and show yourself off to the world and like really make a statement that way. I think the best compliment I got this weekend multiple times was like, this booth looks like it doesn't belong here. But like in a great way. I'm like, that's like, when you come to this booth, like this looks and feels like me, it looks and feels like Jiu-Jitsu Accelerator, and the right people find themselves here. Like I think sometimes when we're marketing, we try to please too many people. We try to appeal to the masses. So when you come to a jiu-jitsu event, you're like, let me make a jiu-jitsu booth. And it's like, no, I'm coming to a jiu-jitsu event, but I'm bringing my booth to the jiu-jitsu event, and it's not for everybody. Not everyone will walk by and want to come in, but the right people will be attracted to it. And you should repel the people that are not aligned with your stuff. Like it's a natural thing that happens. Whereas when you walk by a booth that's like black and white, it's like I have a neutral feeling about this. It doesn't repel the wrong people. It doesn't attract the right people. Like you don't get really any traction that way, in my experience. So I think, yes, there is some potential for some inspiration or just really like bringing the vision to life for people who maybe thought about doing something like this but didn't know if they could or what it would be like. And hopefully I hope so is the answer. I hope it can be inspiring in that way because I would love to see more of this. I think it's only good for the sport. It's only good for our community to have more variety and more voices and more amazing businesses because they're out there bringing things to life. And as far as the key takeaways or what I think was important or what's worked for us, because we certainly have had stuff that didn't work that well. We realized like, oh, we should have done this differently. I think what we realized that worked that I want to do more of is like when I started the booth, the number one thing that when people ask me like, well, what's the point of it? It was, well, I want people to feel better when they leave than when they arrived. So then how do you do that? So we have the recovery modalities, but more important than that, every single person at the booth, they're giving away free stuff, yes, they're showing you around, but it's their energy. They're amazing people. They're here to like ask you about your tournament, ask you about your day, really care, really like remember you if you come back the next day and you met them the day before. And so that I think was a key takeaway is like making a booth that is open and experiential where people can come and feel a part of something rather than just walking by something and being asked for money. So it's like, no, yes, we have stuff to sell. Yes, we'd love for you to be a part of what we do and join the program and all that, come on the vacations and get involved. But even if you don't, like, we want you to just be here and hang out and be a part of what we do. And it's like, it's not to sound overly altruistic. Like, yes, it's a business. It needs to make money. But at the end of the day, like, I believe, kind of like the marketing thing, that when you do well, like, you will succeed. Like, when you treat people well, you will succeed. So we genuinely care about the people that come through, and then the people that are interested in more will ask for more, and they get involved in our stuff. And the people who don't, they leave and feel better than when they got here. And that's my main goal, because that fills my cup. And all the people at the booth, my amazing team, they're the same way. That makes them happy. That lights them up. That fills their cup. And so I think the team is the number one most important thing. The visual aspect of it being different and having it be like a living room setting was really cool. We did that well. Having some people can jump on and try, like the recovery stuff was good. Obviously, my amazing media team, they killed it. You and Michelle are the best. Captured all of it, letting people be seen on social media, showing people what the energy and the vibe is like. Having the free coffee, Raised by Lions came and did an amazing setup for us. That was really cool. And yeah, I think just going all out. Like, it's been all day, every day, nonstop crazy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think that that's one of the reasons why we're successful and people keep coming back, because when they come, we give them our all. We give them all our attention and energy, and I hope that people feel that. So.
All right, awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
Good.